What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Going for Two. I am Q1 Humphreys, and today we're talking about the W. We're talking about the WNBA. This afternoon, we saw the first matchup between 2024 number one overall pick Caitlin Clark and 2025 number one overall Paige Bueckers. We saw that today. The Indiana Fever took home a decisive 102-83 victory, but to me, that was not the story coming into the game. Everybody wanted to see Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers, and I would say that the first matchup between them two delivered. Caitlin Clark finished with 14 points, 13 assists, and 5 rebounds. Paige Bueckers led all scorers with 21 points. These two players, their story is so intertwined. Their story is so intertwined because they both came out of high school. They both came out of high school the same year, top of their class. Paige Bueckers was more well-known going into UConn. Caitlin Clark was known, but she was not of the stardom that Paige Bueckers was. Paige Bueckers leads her team, I want to say, to the Final Four her rookie season, her freshman season. They lose. She gets her sophomore year and her junior year. In the midst of that, Caitlin Clark's legend rises. She's shooting the ball from 30 feet. She's playing a way that nobody has ever seen a woman play, and people buy that stock. People buy that stock. Fast forward to their junior year. Caitlin Clark defeats South Carolina in the Final Four and loses the national championship to LSU. But even in the loss, her story was solidified. She comes back her senior year. Their senior year, Paige and Caitlin face off in the Final Four. Iowa comes away. I want to say they came away with a 71-69 victory in the Final Four. Iowa ends up losing in the national championship to South Carolina in a rematch of the year prior. And last season, of course, Paige Bueckers stayed for her 5th year and finally captured that national championship. You know, these two players, to me, they're going to be the leaders of the new era of women's basketball. And I know I started this video off talking about the game, but this video is not going to necessarily be about the game because I'm going to say something real quick. The Sky are just not a great basketball team. They're dealing with a bunch of injuries. Arike Ogunbowale is having a really down season. So I watched the game. Paige Bueckers is seeing 2-3 bodies at a time every time she comes off a pick. But she's very, very elite at what she's done. And I think she's one of the only players to have 10 points in every single game. So we're going to keep watching what Paige does. But as far as the Wings, they're probably going to lose a good bit of games for the rest of the season. Now, the Fever, this team has really built themselves to compete. You know what I'm saying? Caitlin Clark missed some time earlier this season, and they were able to keep winning games. And even today, when the Fever took over the game, Caitlin Clark was on the bench. So this team has figured out how to survive without Caitlin Clark. And I think where Caitlin Clark last year was with the Fever, where when Caitlin's not in the game, it's kind of like a confusion, run around with a chicken with their head cut off type of offense. That's where the Wings are. And so maybe next season when the Wings get more help and they make more additions, they'll be more of where the Fever are now, to where, you know, they can survive with Paige or without Paige. But Fever are a better team, man. They're a better team. I want to say the Wings are maybe last in the league. You know what I'm saying? So didn't really expect too crazy of a game. I just wanted to see Paige and Caitlin Clark go ahead, and I think that is exactly what I saw. For one, it is all about the players. It's all about the players. I think the way the WNBA did it this season, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, I want to say all of their games except for 2 are on national television. That is what you have to do. You have to take your golden goose, Caitlin Clark. You have to take her and you have to put her on these TV screens because people are going to cut games on. People are going to turn games on to watch Caitlin Clark play basketball. That is how big she's gotten. She's getting commercials. She's getting different avenues to push your game. You got to do it with a player that people have shown they're gonna turn the game on. They're gonna turn the TV to watch this woman play. You have to push her. But to me, it's not just Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is a trailblazer. She's the one that's gonna lead the charge. But these other young players that are currently in the league and that are on the way are going to push the league. People don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it. Angel Reese, like it or not, you know what I'm saying? Like her or not, she is a player that people are going to cut the game on to watch. And it may not be the truth, and the truth of the situation. It may not even be supporters. People may be hating on Angel Reese, but in that hate, they will cut on the game so they can hate watch. Hate watching is a very weird thing going on in sports right now, especially basketball. But people cut the game on to watch Angel Reese. And I'm gonna give Angel Reese credit. Over these last 5 or 6 games, she's been really good. They're using her more as a point forward, point big type, not just having her get rebounds and throw the ball back up. She's actually making a lot of layups too, and her shot attempts are also down a good bit. But I think somebody talked to her and said, hey, when you get these rebounds, you don't gotta go right back up. You don't gotta go right back up, man. You can definitely pass the ball out and do other things other than that. Because y'all probably didn't watch Angel Reese in high school. I didn't watch too much of either, but I came across her film. She ran point guard in high school. That's what got her. I want to say she was the number 1 player or number 2 player in the class. She was in that class with Angel Reese. With Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers too. You know what I'm saying? So it's Angel Reese is a player that people are gonna cut the game on to watch. Last but definitely not least, as far as right now, Paige Bueckers. Paige Bueckers, people are gonna watch Paige Bueckers play, and I hope that this game today, against the Fever, pushes her more. You know what I'm saying? Because Paige Bueckers, like I said, this is someone that people watch coming from high school. They watch her go to UConn. They watched her win the title at UConn, and they want to see what she's gonna do in the pros. You know what I'm saying? So Paige Bueckers kind of has that. She to a lesser extent, she has that aura. She has that following that Caitlin Clark has. As a matter of fact, the draft this year was the number 1 viewed draft in WNBA history. Well, I'm sorry, no, it wasn't. Caitlin Clark's draft was the number 1 viewed draft. But number 2 was this past draft with Paige Bueckers. So that shows you these 2 players, Paige Bueckers and Caitlin Clark, they're going to lead the charge. But I'm also want to give credit to Angel Reese as well, because she's also one of the players the Sky, one of the teams that's bringing in these ticket sales and bringing in this viewership as well. You know, and the truth of the matter is the WNBA, basketball has turned from a sport where teams lead the interest. Basketball has become a player-led sport. What do I mean by that? I mean as in people cut games on to watch players more than they cut games on to watch teams. Now, that may be the case because of, NBA players switching teams a bunch and all that. So your loyalty is more to a player than it is to a team. But that's not what this video is about. I say that to say this: the WNBA, they need these stars. They need these stars that people follow through high school, to college, to the league, because those stars are gonna make people cut them games on. We see what Caitlin Clark, we see what Paige Bueckers, we see what Angel Reese is doing right now. And I want to talk about the future. Think about when a Juju Watkins comes into the league, when a Moesha Fuwali comes into the league, when those 2 players come into the league, I want to say they come out in 27. When those 2 players come into the league, that's going to be more superstars. There's going to be more superstars that you're bringing into your league that fans and casual viewers are going to watch, because that's what you need most as a sports league. You need the casual viewers to cut the games on. That's why the NBA struggles during the regular season, because these casual viewers don't care. But when the playoffs come in, the viewership goes up because those casual viewers are now watching. So if you have these players that people are invested in when they go to college, so when they get to the WNBA, they're still invested. They're going to bring that investment to the league. So the WNBA right now is at a point where they have to push these players. They got to push them, because I'm going to be honest with you. As far as like media and the way the game and way the sports is consumed, this is the best it's ever been, especially for the WNBA, because you have all these different avenues. You have TV. You have games coming on Prime Video. You have YouTube TV. You know what I'm saying? Going back to high school, you have Ball is Life, these mixtapes, these highlight YouTube channels that people post these high school players, and people love high school sports. So if they watch them in high school, then college, women's college basketball is in a great space right now, or great space. Everyone's watching. People are watching women's college basketball more than they're watching men's at some points. You know what I'm saying? So there's no reason why the WNBA could not use this time to grow. Could not use the time to go. They have to take advantage. And I'm going to say this, and this is probably going to be a hot take, but I don't believe the WNBA has had a superstar with the effect that Caitlin Clark has. I don't want to disrespect the greats of Diana Taurasi, the greats of Candace Parker, among other players, but people did not cut games on to watch them like that. Not if it wasn't the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Caitlin Clark in her rookie season has the highest viewed game of all time. In her second season, she was voted as All-Star captain. People recognize game. And people are going to follow these young stars. So the WNBA has got to push. They've got to push their young stars. Today's game, I don't know the final numbers of viewership, but I want to say it hit 1.174 million viewers for a Sunday afternoon game between Paige Bueckers and Caitlin Clark. You know, and I think for the veterans and the best players in this game, because Asia Wilson is the best player in the league. Breanna Stewart is one of the best players in the league. Nafisa Collier, Big Feet, is one of the best players in the league. But the league, to me, I say you pick their spots. You know what I'm saying? You got to pick their spots, because if you can bring people in, bring the casual viewers in by using the young players, that way when it's time for the finals, when it's time for the games, when those young players are not featured, then they will cut the game on. They will say, okay, Nafisa Collier is cold. Asia Wilson is cold. Breanna Stewart is cold. Sabrina Ionescu is cold. You know what I'm saying? So this is just a great opportunity for the WNBA just to grow, man. I'm looking forward to what they got. I'm going to try to do more WNBA content, because right now we are in the kind of dead season of sports. Summer League's going on right now, but I'm not going to do a recap game for every single Summer League game, especially with the top rookies not going to play that much. NFL, we got a little bit to NFL. No real college football news either. So the W is all we got. But make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share with y'all folks, man. Going for 2. Until next time, we out of here. Yeah.